The wind wakes you before the sun does. Not suddenly, not violently, but slowly, like a ghost moving through the wilderness. A long, hollow whistle slips through the cracks of the cabin walls, drifting softly across the dark room, while the last dying embers of the fire glow faintly beneath gray ash. For several quiet moments, you do not move. You remain buried beneath layers of rough wool blankets, listening to the storm breathing outside. The cold has already entered the cabin. You can feel it pressing gently against your cheeks. You can see your own breath floating pale through the darkness. Beside you, your younger brother sleeps curled tightly beneath a straw-filled blanket, his small shoulders rising and falling slowly in the dim orange light.
Every movement causes the straw mattress beneath both of you to rustle softly. The bed is narrow, far too narrow for 3 children. But this is Colonial America in the winter of 1776. Comfort is a luxury few families can afford. Outside, snow slides from the roof in heavy, muffled thumps. The forest beyond the cabin groans quietly beneath layers of ice. Somewhere far away, hidden deep within the frozen darkness, a wolf cries into the endless wilderness. The sound drifts across the valley, then disappears. Silence returns again. You pull the blanket closer around your shoulders. The wool scratches against your skin. Everything here feels rough. Not fresh smoke, old smoke. Smoke buried into the wood for years. Smoke trapped inside coats hanging near the fireplace. Smoke soaked into blankets, boots, and ceiling beams blackened by countless winters. It is the smell of survival. The smell of people enduring another winter together. A faint orange glow flickers near the hearth. Your mother is already awake. Wrapped in a faded brown shawl, she kneels beside the dying fire, carefully moving ashes with a long iron poker. Her tired face glows softly in the firelight. She says nothing. The morning is still too quiet for words. Tiny sparks rise gently into the darkness above her, then vanish. The room dims once more. You slowly sit upright beneath the blanket. Cold air immediately slips across your neck. The chill feels unbearable at first. For a moment, you consider lying back down beside your brother and hiding beneath the blankets until sunrise. But outside the cabin walls, winter does not wait for comfort. Water must be carried. Wood must be chopped. Animals must be fed before dawn. Even on mornings colder than this one. Especially on mornings colder than this one. You glance toward the tiny window across the cabin. Thin frost spreads across the glass like pale white tree branches. The world outside remains dark blue. Morning has not yet arrived. Still, your father is already working. You hear the distant scrape of metal outside. Then the heavy crack of ice splitting near the frozen water barrel. He is breaking the ice again. Every morning now begins the same way. The barrels freeze solid overnight. The wells grow harder to reach.
Even washing water beside the hearth develops thin sheets of ice before morning comes. Winter in the colonies is relentless, and this winter has been especially cruel. Your younger sister shifts quietly near the fireplace. She sleeps on a small pile of blankets beside your parents' bed, her face hidden beneath wool coverings stitched by hand many winters ago. The firelight dances softly across the ceiling beams above her. Outside, Wind brushes snow against the cabin walls again. The sound is strangely calming, like waves moving against a distant shore. You slowly place your feet onto the wooden floor. The cold stings immediately through your thin socks. You inhale sharply. The floor feels frozen solid. Nearby, a bucket of water beside the table holds a thin layer of ice across its surface.
A loaf of coarse bread rests beneath cloth near the hearth. Beside it sits a small wooden bowl containing the last of yesterday's stew. Nothing inside the cabin is wasted. Not food, not water, not warmth, not daylight. Every small thing matters during winter, especially for families living far from town. Your mother finally looks toward you. A soft, tired smile crosses her face. Morning comes early, she whispers quietly. Her voice remains gentle, so the younger children may sleep a little longer. You nod silently and move closer to the fire. Warmth slowly touches your hands. The flames crackle softly as another small log catches fire. The smell of burning oak fills the room. For a few precious moments, the cabin almost feels warm again.
Almost. Then the wind outside rises stronger than before. The walls creak quietly. Snow brushes hard against the roof. You imagine the wilderness beyond the cabin. Miles of frozen forest stretching endlessly beneath the darkness. Bare trees covered in snow. Frozen rivers hidden beneath thick sheets of ice. Lonely dirt roads swallowed by winter storms. Scattered cabins glowing faintly with candlelight before dawn. Families just like yours waking slowly beside fading fires. All across the colonies, people rise before sunrise, simply trying to survive another day. No electricity, no furnaces, no bright city lights. Only firewood, only candlelight, only labor, only endurance. Your father suddenly opens the cabin door. A violent gust of freezing wind bursts into the room.
Snowflakes swirl through the darkness before the door slams shut again. The cold arrives with him. His heavy boots crunch against the floorboards as snow falls from his coat. His beard glitters white with frost. Tiny crystals cling to the edges of his hat. For a moment, he says nothing. He simply stands beside the door, breathing heavily into frozen hands. Then, he removes his gloves slowly and kneels beside the fire. The barrel froze deeper last night, he says quietly. Your mother nods without surprise. Winter has been worsening every week now. Your father stretches his rough hands toward the flames. His fingers are cracked from endless cold. The skin around his knuckles has split in several places from chopping wood and hauling water through freezing wind. Life here leaves marks on every person. You notice snow melting slowly from the edges of his boots onto the floorboards. Outside, the horse in the stable snorts softly. Then comes silence again. The world before sunrise always feels suspended in time. Quiet, still, almost peaceful. But only for a little while. Soon, the work of the day will begin. Axes striking frozen logs, buckets scraping against wells, boots crunching through snow, children feeding chickens, smoke rising into gray winter skies.
Another day in colonial America, beginning exactly like hundreds before it. And yet, there is something comforting about the rhythm of it all. The familiar crackling fire, the dim candlelight, the warmth of family gathered close against the endless wilderness outside. You sit quietly beside the hearth while your mother tears pieces of bread into a wooden bowl.
You notice snow melting slowly from the edges of his boots onto the floorboards. Outside, the horse in the stable snorts softly. Then comes silence again. The world before sunrise always feels suspended in time. Quiet, still, almost peaceful. But only for a little while. Soon, the work of the day will begin. Axes striking frozen logs, buckets scraping against wells, boots crunching through snow, children feeding chickens, smoke rising into gray winter skies. Another day in colonial America, beginning exactly like hundreds before it. And yet, there is something comforting about the rhythm of it all. The familiar crackling fire, the dim candlelight, the warmth of family gathered close against the endless wilderness outside. You sit quietly beside the hearth while your mother tears pieces of bread into a wooden bowl. Outside, darkness finally begins fading from black into deep gray blue. Dawn approaches. You move toward the frozen window again. Carefully, you wipe frost away with your sleeve. The wilderness slowly appears beyond the glass. Snow covers everything. The trees, the roof of the stable, the wooden fence surrounding the cabin. Even the path leading toward the road has disappeared beneath drifting snow. The colonies look untouched, ancient, endless. Smoke rises from a distant cabin far across the valley. Another family waking before sunrise. Another fire struggling against winter. For a moment, you simply watch the snow falling through pale dawn light. Slow, silent, beautiful, and impossibly cold. Your mother hands you a steaming wooden bowl. Warm oats mixed with tiny pieces of dried apple. The heat spreads slowly through your frozen fingers. You inhale the sweet, earthy smell rising from the bowl. It smells like safety, like home. Your father stares into the fire for a long moment before speaking again. You notice snow melting slowly from the edges of his boots onto the floorboards. Outside, the horse in the stable snorts softly. Then comes silence again. The world before sunrise always feels suspended in time. Quiet, still, almost peaceful. But only for a little while. Soon, the work of the day will begin. Axes striking frozen logs, buckets scraping against wells, boots crunching through snow, children feeding chickens, smoke rising into gray winter skies. Another day in colonial America, beginning exactly like hundreds before it. And yet, there is something comforting about the rhythm of it all. The familiar crackling fire, the dim candlelight, the warmth of family gathered close against the endless wilderness outside. You sit quietly beside the hearth while your mother tears pieces of bread into a wooden bowl.
And with it comes another brutal winter day in 1776 colonial America. Your father stands slowly and reaches for his coat once more. The animals must be fed before the next snowfall grows heavier. You already know the chores waiting outside. Carrying wood, clearing snow from the path, breaking ice from the water trough, checking traps near the forest edge. The work never truly ends here. Not in winter. Not in the colonies. But for now, beside the warmth of the fire, the cabin still feels peaceful, safe against the frozen wilderness beyond the walls. The flames crackle softly. The oatmeal steams gently in your hands. Snow continues drifting down from the pale morning sky. And somewhere deep in the endless forests of early America, another long winter day quietly begins.
The morning does not truly feel like morning yet. Outside the cabin, the world is still wrapped in a pale gray silence, as if the sun itself is struggling to rise through the weight of winter. Inside, the fire has begun to breathe again. Slowly, weakly, but enough to push back the cold that clings to every wooden surface. You wake before fully opening your eyes. For a moment, you simply listen. The soft crackle of burning wood, the distant creak of the cabin walls as wind presses against them, and the faint, steady sound of someone already moving near the hearth. Your mother is awake again. She always wakes first.
You turn slightly beneath the wool blanket, feeling the familiar stiffness in your joints from sleeping in cold air. The straw beneath the bedding shifts softly, rustling like dry leaves. Beside you, your younger brother is still asleep, curled tightly, as if trying to disappear into warmth that no longer fully exists. The cabin is warmer than last night. Not warm, just less cold. That is how winter feels here. A constant negotiation between survival and surrender. You slowly sit up. The air immediately greets your skin like a wave of ice. Your breath appears in front of you in thin white clouds. Across the room, your mother kneels beside the fire, gently stirring something inside a black iron pot hanging above the flames. Steam rises slowly into the smoky air.
The smell reaches you a moment later. Oats. And something faintly sweet. Dried apple, stretched carefully across many days. Food in this house never arrives in abundance. It arrives in decisions. How much to use? How much to save? How much to hope will last until the next week? Your father is already gone again. You can tell because the door is closed tightly and snow has begun collecting around its edges from the outside. He must have left before sunrise. He always does on harder days. Wood does not chop itself. Animals do not feed themselves. Ice does not break unless someone stands in the freezing wind to break it. Your mother glances briefly toward you without speaking. Her hands continue moving. Slow stirring. Careful rhythm. The kind of movement that tries to make survival predictable. Get dressed, she finally says in a low voice. Not harsh, just certain. The kind of certainty that winter demands. You swing your legs over the edge of the bed. The wooden floor feels colder today than it did yesterday. Or maybe your body is simply growing tired of pretending not to notice. You pull on your boots near the hearth. They are still slightly damp from melted snow that never fully dried. Every piece of clothing here carries memory of cold mornings, of long walks, of work that never ends. Your younger sister begins to wake now, rubbing her eyes slowly, as if the light itself is too heavy for her to carry. She does not speak yet. She simply watches the fire, like it is the only living thing in the room that is not tired. Your mother lifts the iron pot carefully from the hook above the flames. The metal gives a low sound as it moves.
She sets it down on a wooden surface and begins dividing the contents into rough bowls. The oatmeal is thick, simple, warm. Steam rises in thin ribbons, curling into the smoky air before disappearing. You take your bowl when she hands it to you. The warmth spreads into your fingers immediately. Not comfort, but relief.
The trees stand frozen, like silent witnesses. Your mother sits down only after everyone else has a portion. She eats slowly, quietly, as if even hunger must be managed carefully. A long moment passes where no one speaks. Only the sound of fire and wind and distant wood creaking somewhere outside the walls. Then your brother breaks the silence with a small question. Will Father come back before dark? Your mother pauses for just a second, then nods. He always comes back before dark. But her voice carries something careful underneath it. Not doubt, just the awareness that winter does not always keep promises. You finish your food slowly. Every bite feels like something meant to last longer than it should.
When the bowls are empty, your mother places them aside without washing yet. Water is not something wasted in the morning, especially not when the barrel outside has begun freezing again. She looks toward you and your siblings. Wood first, she says softly. Then water. You already know the routine, but hearing it spoken still gives the day its shape. You step outside first. The door opens with a long groan. Cold air rushes in instantly, sharp enough to steal breath from your lungs. Snowlight floods your vision. Everything outside is brighter than it feels it should be. The world is silent, except for wind moving through trees far beyond the clearing. Your boots sink into deep snow immediately. Each step is heavier than the last.
Behind you, your siblings follow carefully, wrapping themselves tighter in wool and cloth. Near the side of the cabin, stacked logs sit partially buried under snow. You kneel and begin pulling them free. The wood is frozen solid, hard as stone. Your fingers sting immediately as you touch it, but you keep moving, one log at a time. The rhythm begins. Lift, pull, stack, repeat. The forest around you feels endless, like it is watching without moving. Somewhere far off, you hear the distant crack of an axe. Your father, still working, still somewhere in the white wilderness. The wind shifts suddenly, brushing.
Inside the cabin, your mother is already preparing the next task. Water. Always water. Always ice. Always something that refuses to stay liquid long enough to be useful. When you finish stacking wood, you move toward the frozen barrel near the side of the house. A thick layer of ice has formed across the top overnight. Your small hammer strikes it carefully. Once, twice. The sound is dull, heavy, like striking stone buried beneath earth. Your sister watches quietly from behind the doorway, not speaking, just observing. In this world, even children learn early how survival looks. Slowly, cracks begin to form in the ice, thin lines spreading outward,
like broken glass trapped in time. You strike again and again, until finally a piece breaks free with a sharp sound.
Cold water beneath is darker than the ice above it, almost black in contrast. You fill the bucket carefully, your hands already numb, and for a moment you stand still in the snow, holding it, breathing, watching the world. The forest does not change. The sky does not change. But somewhere deep inside the stillness, life continues anyway. And that is enough to make you move again, back toward the cabin, back toward warmth that is never fully warm. Inside, the fire has grown slightly stronger. Your mother is now kneading something on the table. Flour mixed with water. Simple dough. Bread that will not rise like modern bread does. Bread that exists more as necessity than comfort. She works it slowly, pressing, turning, repeating. Each movement is patient, as if patience itself is an ingredient. You set the water down beside her. She nods once in thanks. No words needed. Outside, the wind grows stronger again. And somewhere beyond the trees, winter continues to spread across the colonies like a quiet, unending tide. Another day is already halfway begun, and yet it feels like nothing has truly started at all. The wind sounds different tonight. Not louder, not stronger, just closer. As if the entire winter has moved a few steps nearer to your cabin. Inside, the fire is still alive, but only just. A fragile orange glow clings to the blackened wood, fighting to stay visible against the darkness that presses in from every corner of the room. You don't remember when you fell asleep, only that you woke up because of silence. Not complete silence, but the kind that feels heavy, like the world outside is holding its breath. You sit up slowly. Your wool blanket slips from your shoulders, and the cold immediately reminds you that warmth here is never permanent. It is borrowed, temporary. Your mother is already awake again. Of course she is. She sits near the fire, not moving much, just watching it carefully, like she is reading something only she can understand. Your father is not inside the cabin. Again. But tonight feels different. There is no morning light yet, only deep night, and the sound of snow pressing against wood. Your younger brother turns in his sleep, whispering something unclear, then goes still again. Your younger sister is curled tightly beside him, her small hands hidden under wool. They look almost peaceful. Almost. You stand carefully, trying not to disturb the floorboards. Each step is slow, measured. The wood creaks softly under your weight, and for a moment you pause, listening, as if even the cabin itself might respond. But nothing changes. Only the wind. Always the wind.
You move closer to the window. It is completely frozen now. A thick white pattern covers the glass, like nature has decided to erase the outside world. But you still try to look through it, and you see nothing clearly. Only movement. Snow falling endlessly. Not like individual flakes, but like a constant curtain between your world and everything else. Behind you, your mother finally speaks. Not loudly, not urgently, just quietly. Don't go near the door. You don't ask why. In this world, questions are often heavier than answers.
A long silence follows. Then, the sound comes again. From outside, a distant crack, like wood breaking under weight, or ice shifting somewhere deep in the forest. You freeze. Your mother doesn't move, but her hands stop for a second.
Just a second. Then she continues stirring the fire. Slowly. Carefully. As if normal movement can protect reality from changing. Your younger brother wakes now. Fully. He doesn't speak. He just listens. Even children understand when silence is not safe. Another sound comes. This time, closer. A slow dragging noise across snow. Something outside is moving. Not fast, not random, intentional. You step back from the window. Your mother finally looks at you. Her voice is softer now. Stay where you are. And then, the wind rises. Harder. The cabin walls creak. Snow hits the roof like scattered stones. The fire flickers violently for a moment, then steadies again, as if refusing to die. Time passes strangely in moments like this.
Seconds feel stretched. Breaths feel louder than thoughts. Then, footsteps. Outside. Not many, just one set. Stopping near the door. Everything inside the cabin becomes still. Even the fire seems quieter. A shadow moves across the frosted window. Slow, unclear, human-shaped but blurred by ice and night. Your heart doesn't race loudly. It doesn't need to. In silence like this, even small sounds feel dangerous. A hand touches the door. Once. No knock, just contact. Then nothing. Your mother slowly stands. Not suddenly, not fearfully, carefully, like she has learned how fear behaves and refuses to feed it. The door does not open. The shadow remains outside, still, waiting. And then, it leaves. No sound, no announcement, just gone. As if it was never there at all. The wind slowly returns to normal. The fire steadies again. Your younger brother exhales. Only now do you realize he had been holding his breath. Your mother sits back down, but she does not relax. Not fully. No one does. Not here. Not in winter like this. You return slowly to your place near the fire. But sleep does not come easily anymore. Because now you understand something new about this night. The world outside is not empty. And it is not asleep. It is watching and waiting. And in 1776 colonial winter, that is sometimes the same thing.
The morning after the storm feels different. Not peaceful, not fully safe, just quieter in a way that makes you pay attention to everything. Inside the cabin, the fire is still alive, but weaker now, like it survived the night the same way you did. Not through strength, but stubbornness. You sit near it, watching the wood collapse slowly into glowing red shapes. Your mother moves carefully around the room, adjusting things that don't really need adjusting. Bowls, blankets, small pieces of wood. Not because they are important,
but because movement keeps fear from settling. Your father is outside again. This time, he left early. Too early. Before the sun even properly appeared. No explanation.
Now, the forest feels closer than it should. Not physically, emotionally. As if the trees are leaning in slightly to listen. Your younger brother notices it too. He doesn't speak much, but he keeps looking toward the window. Your younger sister stays near your mother, quiet, small, wrapped tightly in wool, like the world outside is something she was told not to remember. Then, a sound from far away. A slow crack in the forest, wood breaking under weight. But there is no wind strong enough for that. Your mother pauses for a moment. Just a moment. Then continues as if she didn't hear it. That is her way. If you don't feed fear, it has less room to grow. But the forest does not care about philosophy. Another sound follows. Not a crack this time. A drag.
Long, slow, like something heavy moving through deep snow without urgency. You move closer to the window again. The frost is thinner today. You can almost see through it. Almost. Shapes exist out there now. Not clear ones, just suggestions. Your younger brother whispers without looking at you. Is father coming back? You don't answer immediately, because you don't know. And in this winter, I don't know is often the only honest truth. Your mother finally speaks. Not to you, not to him. Just into the room. He knows the forest. That is all she says. But it doesn't sound like comfort. It sounds like memory. Outside, the forest continues its slow movements. Branches shifting. Snow falling from high limbs. Something unseen moving deep between trees.
You realize something strange then. The forest is not silent today. It is active, but not loudly, not violently. It is aware, like a body waking up slowly. Your father's absence suddenly feels heavier, not because he is gone, but because the world he went into is now clearly alive. Hours pass, or maybe minutes. Time is unreliable in rooms like this. Then, the door opens. Not suddenly, not violently, just naturally. Your father steps inside, covered in snow, breathing hard, but alive. And something about his expression makes the room change instantly. Not fear, not relief. Something more complicated, like understanding something he cannot explain. Your mother stands slowly. He doesn't speak at first. He just looks at the fire. Then at you. Then at the children. Finally, he says only one sentence. The forest moved last night. No one responds. Because that sentence doesn't feel like a story. It feels like a warning that already happened. Outside, the wind begins again. But softer this time. Like it is listening too. And in 1776 Colonial America, you start to realize something important. The winter is not the only thing alive out there. The morning does not feel like morning anymore. It feels like something pretending to be morning. The light outside is weaker than yesterday,
The snow is thicker, and the forest is closer. You notice it first when you step near the window. The trees are still there, of course, but something about their position feels different, as if they have shifted slightly overnight. Not moved far, just enough to make you uncomfortable. Your father doesn't speak much this morning. He eats quickly, too quickly, like someone who already knows he won't stay long inside. Your mother watches him carefully, but says nothing. She has learned that words don't stop winter. Only action does. Your younger brother keeps asking if the forest is angry.
No one answers him. Your younger sister just stays close to your mother, silent as always. Then your father finally speaks. Not to explain, just to warn. If you hear knocking again, do not open it. The room goes still. Even the fire feels smaller. You don't ask what he means, because something in his voice tells you he is not talking about yesterday anymore. He is talking about something that continues. Outside, the wind is quiet, which is worse, because silence in winter is never empty. It is waiting. Hours pass. Your father leaves again. This time, slower, like he expects, not physically, visually, like the trees lean inward after he enters, as if the forest prefers him inside it. Your stomach tightens. Later, you hear it again. Not from far away this time, from closer. A knock. Once. Soft. On wood. The cabin goes completely silent. Your mother freezes. Your younger brother stops breathing mid-sentence. Your younger sister grips and speaks without opening it. Go away. Silence. Then, nothing. No footsteps. No wind. No sound of leaving. Just absence. Your mother does not open the door. She returns slowly to the fire. But no one relaxes. Because now, you understand something important. The knocking was not an arrival. It was a check. As if something outside is learning the rhythm of your house. Night comes too early again. The fire burns lower than before. And for the first time, you realize the night after the warning does not feel like rest. It feels like waiting. The fire in the cabin burns low again, but nobody moves to fix it right away. It's like everyone is afraid that too much light might attract attention. Your father sits near the center of the room now, not outside, not leaving, just there. But he is not relaxed. He is listening. Not to you, not to the family, to the outside. Your mother tries to continue normal things. She adjusts blankets, she checks small objects, she keeps moving, like movement can control fear. But even she is slower now. Careful. Measured. Your younger brother whispers something about hearing footsteps again. No one corrects him this time, because everyone heard something similar. Not footsteps, exactly. More like pressure in the snow, as if something heavy is moving without sound. Your father finally speaks, but this time it is not a warning. It is a confirmation. It answers now. The room doesn't understand him immediately. Your mother looks at him like she wants him to clarify,
But she doesn't ask, because asking would make it more real. Outside, the wind returns. But it is strange. It doesn't pass the cabin like normal wind. It circles, slowly, like something testing the shape of the house. Then, a sound. Not a knock, not exactly. More like wood being touched from the outside. Not struck, touched. Your father stands immediately. Your heart tightens. He walks to the door, but does not open it.
He just places his hand on it.
And for a long moment, he stays like that, as if feeling something through the wood. Your mother speaks quietly behind him.
What is it?
Your father doesn't answer at first. Then, it learned we are here. Silence hits harder than any storm. Your younger sister starts breathing unevenly. Your younger brother pulls his blanket closer. And you realize something you don't want to accept. The forest is no longer random. It is aware of location. Inside the cabin, nobody speaks for a long time. Then the fire flickers sharply. Not from wind, but from something that feels like presence. Outside, the snow suddenly stops falling for a moment. Like the world itself is holding still. And in that stillness, you hear something new. Not at the door, not at the window. From everywhere around the cabin at once. A slow, distant sound. Like something moving in a wide circle. Your father whispers something almost too quiet to hear. It's learning our boundaries. Your mother finally reacts. Not with panic, with decision. She takes the children closer to the fire. Your father moves something heavy near the door. Not to open it, to block it. And in that moment, you understand. This is no longer about surviving winter. This is about surviving something that is studying survival. Outside, the forest doesn't attack. It waits and learns.
That night, something changes. Not loudly, not violently, quietly, in a way that feels worse than both. The cabin is still standing. The fire is still alive. But it feels like the world outside has adjusted itself around you. Like the forest has stopped being a place and started becoming a system. Your father doesn't sleep. None of you really do. Every sound is treated like information now. Even silence feels like data being collected. Your mother tries to keep things normal again in the morning. She prepares what little food is left. She speaks softly to your younger siblings. She moves around the cabin like movement itself can reset fear. But nothing resets. Because something outside has learned you don't move much at night.
And now, it doesn't either. Your father steps outside early. He doesn't go far, just enough to see the snow around the cabin. When he returns, his face is different. Not scared, not calm, analyzing. He says something that doesn't make sense at first. The marks are repeating. Your mother doesn't ask him to explain, because she already knows what he means is bad. You go to the window.
happens when you see it. The snow around the cabin is no longer random. It has patterns. Not footprints. Not wind shapes. Something more structured. Like repeated motion. Like something walked the same path again and again, learning what safe distance looks like. Your younger brother notices it too. He whispers that it looks like someone was practicing walking around the house.
No one corrects him, because that is exactly what it looks like. Then your father does something you don't expect. He goes to the door, opens it, just for a moment. Cold air floods inside instantly. The fire reacts violently, flickering upward like it is being pulled. Your father steps out. The snow crunches under his boots. He walks a slow circle around the cabin. You watch from inside, unable to move. At first, everything looks normal. Then you realize something horrifying. The snow footprints are not just following him. They are adjusting, matching his pace, mirroring distance. Not copying exactly, but correcting themselves. Like whatever is out there is trying to understand how a human patrols space. Your father stops, looks down, and for the first time, he doesn't move for a long moment. When he comes back inside, he shuts the door slowly, too slowly, like he doesn't want to teach anything how doors work. He sits by the fire again, but now his hands are shaking slightly. Your mother notices. No one comments on it. Night arrives early again. The fire is weaker than yesterday. And this time, the silence outside is different. Not empty, organized. Like something has learned when you listen. So it listens back. Your younger sister falls asleep first. Your younger brother tries to stay awake, but fails. You don't. Neither does your father. Because now you all understand something you can't un-understand. The forest is no longer reacting. It is rehearsing. And what it is rehearsing is you. By morning, nothing feels normal anymore. But nothing is attacking either. That is what makes it worse. Your father doesn't speak much when he wakes. He just sits by the door, like he's waiting for something that never arrives on time. Your mother tries to keep the day moving again. Water, food, warmth, routine. But routine doesn't work when the world outside has started behaving like it understands you. The snow is still there. The cabin is still there. But the feeling has changed. It feels like something is waiting for the right version of you to make a mistake. Your younger brother is the first to notice it. He hears something outside. At first, it sounds like wind brushing the trees. Then it shifts. It becomes a voice. Not clear, not fully formed, but familiar enough to make him freeze. Come outside. He turns toward the door immediately. Your mother grabs his arm before he can move. And that's when everything stops being subtle. Because now, your father hears it too. He stands instantly. Not surprised. Not confused. Just angry in a controlled way. No one answers it, he says. But the voice comes again. This time, closer. Open the door. Your father walks to the wall near the door and presses his hand against it, like before. But now, he doesn't close his eyes. He
he watches everyone in the room while listening. Your younger sister whispers something small. "I heard Mama." Your mother goes still. That's when it becomes clear. The voice outside is not random. It is targeting memory.
It is using familiarity as bait. Your father says something low and sharp. It learned names. Silence drops instantly. Even the fire feels smaller now. Your mother shakes her head slightly, like she's refusing the idea. But then, from outside again, "Mother!" This time, your mother actually moves toward the door without realizing it. Your father blocks her immediately. Hard. Not violent, but urgent. "Don't," he says. And for the first time, fear breaks through his control. Because now it is not just imitation, it is personalization. Your younger brother starts crying quietly.
The cabin feels too small now, like it is no longer shelter, just containment. Your mother is shaking slightly, but she tries to stay steady for the children. Your father makes a decision without speaking. He goes to the fire, takes ash, and draws marks near the doorframe. Not symbols, not prayers, just structure, boundaries. Like he is trying to remind reality where it ends. Outside, the voice continues, testing, rotating, trying different tones, different people, different memories. It never rushes. It waits for reaction. And slowly, painfully, everyone inside realizes something terrifying. It is not trying to scare them anymore. It is trying to find the correct version of a human voice that makes them obey. That night, no one sleeps.
Because every time silence grows too deep, a voice appears again. Soft, patient, almost gentle, and always wrong in just the smallest way. Like something learning how to be human by practicing on humans.
That morning, no one talks about the voices anymore. Not because they are gone, but because everyone is afraid that speaking about them might make them return in a more accurate form. The cabin feels different now. Not louder, not darker, more persuasive. Like the silence itself is trying to convince you that everything is fine. Your father is the first to notice it. He stands near the door longer than usual, not listening for threats anymore, listening for patterns. Then he says something that doesn't feel like fear. It feels like diagnosis. It stopped repeating us. Your mother doesn't understand, but your father does not explain further. Because outside, the forest is no longer copying voices. It is doing something worse. It is offering alternatives.
That evening, your younger brother hears it first again. A voice outside. But this time, it is calm, friendly, almost helpful. "You are cold inside." Your brother freezes. The voice continues. "The fire is weak. I can show you where better wood is." No one inside speaks. Because this is new. It is not pretending to be family. It is pretending to be helpful reality. Your father immediately moves to the door. Not angry this time. Careful. Controlled.
like someone dealing with something intelligent enough to negotiate. The voice outside continues. Soft, patient. You don't have enough food. There is a place nearby. It is safe to walk if you leave now. Your mother tightens her grip on the children. Because the worst part is not the words.
It is how reasonable they sound. Your father finally speaks. Low, sharp, no. Silence outside reacts instantly. Not in anger, in adjustment, like it expected resistance. Then the voice changes slightly. Not emotional anymore, more structured. You are protecting children. Yes, your father says. A pause. Then the voice responds. Then you should reduce exposure to cold. That is when your father stops moving, because the forest has started using logic. Your younger sister whispers something barely audible. It sounds like it wants to help us. And that is the most dangerous sentence so far, because even doubt now feels like permission. Your father steps back from the door, not retreating, recalculating. He looks at your mother.
Then the children. Then the fire. And for the first time, he says something that feels like surrender to understanding. It is learning what we call safe. Outside, the voice continues offering things. Warmth, food, shorter exposure, easier survival paths. Everything a human would accept in desperation. But it never repeats itself now. It adapts. And the cabin feels smaller than ever. Because now, the forest is no longer trying to imitate life. It is trying to improve it. And if something can improve you, it can also replace you. That night, no one sleeps again. But this time, it is not fear that keeps you awake. It is the feeling that the forest is patiently waiting for you to choose incorrectly.
That morning feels wrong before anything even happens. Not because something is loud, not because something is moving, but because nothing is asking for you anymore. The voice outside is gone. Not silent, not waiting. Gone in a way that feels deliberate, like it finished reading you. Your father notices it first. He stands near the door longer than usual, hand hovering where the ash marks used to be. Then he says something quietly that makes everyone stop moving. It stopped offering things. Your mother doesn't understand what that means, but your father does not explain. Because now the forest is no longer trying to persuade them. It is no longer optimizing. It is no longer even predicting. It is simply observing without feedback.
Like something that has already decided the outcome and is now just watching it happen. That day, the snow outside changes. Not visually, structurally. The paths that once appeared safe are still there, but they are no longer clear, no longer inviting. They look unfinished, like instructions that were abandoned halfway through writing. Your younger brother is the first to notice something worse. He says he hears breathing outside. Not a voice, not words, just presence. Your father goes outside alone this time. No hesitation, no warning. Just opening the door like he already knows what he will find. And what he finds
is worse than anything before. The forest is still, but not empty. It feels occupied, not by something watching, by something finished watching.
Your father walks slowly into the snow. No tracks appear behind him for a moment. Then they do. But they don't look like footsteps anymore. They look like confirmations. Like the ground is acknowledging his existence, not recording it. Inside the cabin, your mother holds the children tightly. No one speaks, because speech now feels unnecessary. The forest is no longer responding to them. It is responding around them, as if they are no longer the subject, only a condition in a larger system. Then, for the first time in days, a sound returns. Not a voice, not imitation. Just one simple neutral line carried through the cold air. Stable. Your father stops walking. Not in fear, not in relief, in understanding. Because that word is not meant for him. It is not even meant for humans. It is a system conclusion. Your father turns back toward the cabin slowly, and when he reaches the door, he does something no one expects. He does not rush inside. He does not warn anyone. He simply says, "It is done learning from us." Silence. Not relief silence. Not safe silence. Final silence. That night, nothing knocks. Nothing calls. Nothing offers. Nothing imitates. And that is when your family understands the truth. The forest did not lose interest. It did not leave. It completed the process.
And now, you are no longer being studied. You are being maintained as something already understood, as something no longer needing adjustment, as something that will simply continue until it stops being useful to observe. And in that quiet, your father sits by the dying fire and says the last thing he will ever say about it. We were never surviving it. We were finishing its understanding of us. Outside, the snow falls in perfect silence. Not alive, not dead. Just correct.